As always, I'm Mark. He's Brian, and we have a special guest on the Mark 2.0 podcast. Please welcome That Arena Rock Show. Let's throw it over to Brian to start this thing out.
Guys, it's a pleasure. You look like all my buddies from high school. You know what? You looks like we're gonna go all get in trouble right now doing something really, really horrible.
Well, we're in Key West, Florida, so that's definitely possible.
Yeah,
Of course.
It's nighttime. I just am having a flashback to my childhood. I'd like to give a shout out to our buddies in the Van Halen tribute band called Jump.
Yeah,
Mike they are a great bunch of guys, and they have enlightened us on this whole scene, and we are absolutely impressed beyond belief. Congratulations, gentlemen, on your success. And I was really complimenting those guys on their look and their style, and I said, you know what, giving the old hairband the youthful look and taking it on the road was a phenomenal idea. And I think you guys are probably some of the I don't know, the biggest name that I know about. So again, congratulations, gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
So, if we could get everybody's name, I see three people, and who's way back there? Who's way in the back?
I'm Brady Tigner.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, Brady Tigner plays Brady Savage in the band.
Nice. Tristan Bone, I played T-Bone on stage.
And my name is Nick Tyree, and I play Nikki Starr on stage. Which so we all have stage names to kind of
interesting
to give it a little more flavor.
Well, yeah, I thought it's not really a tribute band, is it? It's more of like a genre tribute band.
It is. Basically, we're just paying tribute to the era. Basically, when we put this thing together, we just wanted to do all of our favorite concerts all in one show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what it is. What we like about certain bands or theatrical spots, or maybe certain things they did on stage, we try to replicate and just bring all into one show. So, for example, Kiss. I'm a big Kiss fan, so Ace used to. Still does, but have a smoking guitar. So I do that. Paul Stanley used to break a guitar at the end of the show. I do that. We have our singer come out as Alice Cooper, during the show, and he's got all kinds of different costume changes. But yeah, it's just basically we just want to throw a party for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and ourselves included, just help other people forget about life for an hour and a half and just have fun.
Well, Alice Cooper actually lives here in Phoenix, where me and Mark are right now. That's where we are. So we're good. I've seen his face on the side of a bus.
Yeah.
So he's like a legend here. And I saw Kiss. My first concert, I saw Motley Crue with their Too Fast for Love album.
Wow.
Open for Kiss.
Wow.
Before they took their makeup off for the first time. It was about the very, very end of their makeup thing. And I saw Paul Stanley smash his shit, and I saw that guitar smoke up, and it was pretty life-changing. And so your guys' show is pretty much really what I was, just this wide-eyed young teenager. And so I hope I get to see that. I hope you roll through the Southwest sometime. I'm gonna have to jump around and find out where you are.
Yeah, we were just in Texas last week.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, we're getting closer. We're trying to make it out that way.
Wow. So how did this start? How many people? Let me ask you before that. How many people are in your band right now? And how long has this group been together?
So there's 5 that play in the band, like instruments, and then there's 2 people that kind of do skits, and 1 person that does wardrobe, and we also have like crew members and stuff like that. bus driver, stuff like that. So this lineup of the band, we started 5 years ago. And basically the idea behind it was I seen the tribute business kind of taken off, and I was in a Stone Temple Pilots tribute at the time. And I thought, man, I could do this so much better with something that I'm like extremely passionate about, which is 80s rock. You know, my dad raised me on 80s rock. And so I just had to basically find other people that kind of understood what I wanted to do with this, and then that could also add to it. So I hit up Tristan and asked if he wanted to come over and jam a few songs. And so we got that started with a group of people, and actually him and my drummer are the ones that you know, have been here the longest for the last 5 years. We've had some member changes throughout the years. Traveling, especially when you start getting more and more shows, tends to, you know, it's hard to balance. You know, most of us have day jobs, and it's hard to balance doing that and you know, having a life with also having to go out on the weekends and play music and travel and stuff like that. So you know, that sometimes I think has caused certain people to have to leave or lose interest or whatever, because they just can't keep up with that. Or and you know, some people just get tired of doing it in general. So but you know, we're having fun with it. And we just welcomed a new bass player playing with us, Brady, and
Nice.
He's doing a great job. So we're you know, having fun with the lineup that we got now. And we've been actually, I guess November and December has just been really busy. And then we just started doing we went out the first weekend of January and have been out since then. Hit some new markets in Texas, some new markets in New Orleans, Mississippi. And then we stopped in Clearwater the other day and just hung out at Hulk Hogan's bar and hung out there. And then now we just made our way down to Key West. We're playing a festival down here called Rock Island, or the pre-party band that plays at a place called the Smoke and Tuna Saloon. And so we're gonna play there every day at 2:00. And it's been cool. I don't know if you can see in this picture here, but our bus is parked behind us and we're outside. And so there's other buses and RVs here. And it's funny, like when they walk out and introduce themselves and who they are, it's crazy. So we have Lita Ford's manager on one side and Slaughter and Vince Neil's on the other.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had enough shows, I mean, you could just get on the road and basically just keep going and going, right? It's just a matter of now this trending enough to bring enough business to you guys, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, when we first started, I think we had 8 shows the first year that we started. The next year was like 20, but then COVID happened, which kind of crushed, you know, all that momentum. And but 2021 was good. I think we did maybe 25 shows. Yes. And last year it turned into 57 shows, which is double.
So that's what it was. It was freaking COVID, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so then you know, we did 57 last year. We have 50 on the books right now. And we're still adding stuff. So we're thinking,
what up, guys?
Gonna probably get to about 70 this year.
Sorry, there's people going on behind you. Hey, welcome. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, do you have a complete set list that you do, or do you change things up?
A little bit of both. We have a standard set list that we kind of came up with at the beginning of last year. We pretty much would go and do that pretty much the whole year and add things in and out as we go to like the same market again. You know, so we would swap out a couple songs. Going into this year, we're kind of revamping some things. We got a whole new stage production that we bought and invested in. It's not in use right now, but it's going to be, I think, middle of February is when we're going to debut that. And then we're also going to do about 3 or 4 new things in our show and songs in our show.
So it seems to me like it went from 25 to 50 to pushing 70. So what if you hit 100 songs? Are we there? Or 100 shows? Are we there?
100 shows? Yeah. I mean, It's
gonna happen, dude. It's escalating at that
Really,
rate.
yeah,
I mean,
that-
Jesus.
It's crazy. When we started this thing, I never seen it blowing it up this quick. And
Yeah.
so it's exciting. It's exciting to watch something that you created out of nothing. You know, we created together and out of nothing, and
I've only
it's
been
just
here
kind of
for
blowing
about a
up.
year and a half, and the growth in the last year and a half has been enough to really change my day-to-day life.
Oh, yeah.
How
Yeah,
did you meet them? How did you meet them?
How did I meet him? How did he meet
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, how did you meet them? Yeah.
So, I helped put on. We're all obviously outside of Brady from Cincinnati. And I was helping put on an open jam at a local bar in Cincy, and I met Ryan, the drummer, and Ryan and I knew a lot of the same people. We have countless mutual friends. And I never really asked how Nick got my number, but I got a text message from Nick one day that said, "Hey, do you want to fill in for a couple shows for us? Our guitar player can't do it." And then they came out to see me play with the band I was currently with, and Nick was like, "So our guitar player is quitting. What's your availability look like?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
And the new bass player, Brady, what's his name?
Brady Savage.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah, Brady
Nice.
Savage. Right. Sorry. So give us some backstory. How'd you meet them?
So pretty much I would do covers on Instagram. And I would just keep, posting guitar covers, singing.
Smart.
Eventually, one day, Nick messaged me. He wanted me to help out with gear and stuff, and I was already of interest with that. So probably about a week after that, I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and he calls me, and he basically tells me the one bass player was going to leave in the middle of November, and I was so determined to do something because this is what I've always wanted to be doing. So I told this guy right here, I said, I'll buy a bass amp and a bass and learn the songs. And it's pretty much
Because he's a guitar player. He's not really a bass
Yeah, yeah. You just saw. Yeah, that's so cool. But you
Yeah.
know what? There's no better bass player than a skilled guitar player. When they pick up a bass, you're like, oh shit, you like
Yeah.
solo
Yeah.
on that damn thing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an
Absolutely.
awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And so Tristan, you've been with them the longest, right?
Yes. That's correct.
Nice.
So give us the how'd you get in and what happened in the beginning.
So, I mean, it was sort of like the same deal. Like I would post like covers of jams I do on like Facebook, Instagram. Like I do some
Mhm.
Zeppelin covers, some Quiet Riot covers. And I actually went to a couple of Nick's shows when he was in a Stone Temple Pilots tribute. And yeah, STP too.
Yeah.
And I used to go to a couple of his shows. He flung a guitar pick out one time, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" It says Nick on it. Looked him up on Facebook, sent him a friend request, and I think that helped populate like some of my videos into his feed to where he's just like, "Oh man, I need to give this guy a call." So I go to
Nice.
another one of his shows, and then he's like, "Hey, you're that dude that does like the Zeppelin covers or what?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "I don't know how you saw that, but that's pretty cool." I was like, then I put two and two together. I'm like, "Oh, it's probably just Facebook feed and algorithms and all that." But yeah, he messaged and he told me, he's like, "Yo, let's get together, jam." And we jammed one day and decided to put something together.
Wow.
Wow.
So you got people working hard to get into your band there, Nick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty damn
I just
cool.
creep on their pages and then
Clever. Yeah, very clever. All good. All good.
Yeah.
Because I already knew like 80% of the set list when I got in the band.
That helped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got
It's all the
people doing their
classics.
homework and yeah, that's awesome. So you got a lot of talent going on here. I like your looks. Your videos are a lot of fun. Your website, we'll talk about that at the end, but I got on there and those videos are like very fun and all your touring information is there. So we'll have all that information for everybody below,
Sure.
of course, like we usually do. But I had a great time watching that. And gosh, I think we're on the verge of something big here. So
Really, and there's a big need for it, especially after COVID. People want to get out. They want to, and there's this nostalgic thing. We've interviewed people in Europe and such, and they got the festivals and stuff, kind of like Coachella and stuff, and they're all 80s artists and such. You guys, what's nice about you guys is you play a great mix You're not just playing one artist, you're playing a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. In fact, tell our viewers the main the bands that you do covers from.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All of them.
No,
No, I'm serious.
All
No,
of them, pretty much.
every band.
every
How
one that-
many songs do you guys know right now? Now, I won't say that they have to be like how many songs have you guys done live? We'll do it that way. How many different songs have y'all done live?
I'd say over a 5-year span, like could be, I'd say up in the 40s. Because I mean
40s or
30, yeah, 40s to 50s, somewhere in there. It was just kind of interchange one or two on sets over time, and then we're like, okay, well, let's try this one, and we just kind of give them a shot, and then we revisit them later, and just kind of mix them in when we feel the time's right for the market.
Yeah. So Nick, your guys are singing backups pretty well, right? I mean, you are you picky about stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
You should have been in
Yeah.
the bus the other day.
Yeah. We were doing it on the bus here. We are trying to do Heavens on Fire.
Our driver-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Everyone
picky
with us
about
felt
that.
good.
Yeah. I think, I'm not a fan of big screaming bands, I like the voice and I like, I admire singers, definitely. So let's say you're going to tell our viewers what are maybe the top 5 or 6 bands that they're going to hear if they come to one of your shows. What's it going to be?
Yeah, I mean AC/DC, Kiss, and Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue. I think that was 5.
You know what? That list
Yeah.
did go by pretty quick. No wonder you said that before. There are so many. Man, that was a great time. It was
Yeah,
a
it
great
really was,
time.
yeah.
I literally would buy like magazines
Yeah.
when I was really young, and I would have to buy 2 of the magazines because there was a picture on the other side too. And I was like, literally, I had them all over my walls. I think I had every Kiss album by the time I was in the 3rd grade. And and then it was Motley Crue, and then I was just literally 16 years old, and I was singing in a band at a party outside, just people everywhere. I had like a jacket, like a leopard skin jacket with a bunch of bracelets. I think it had gotten very glam by then,
Yeah.
but I ended up in metal, and then metal went to speed metal, and we fell into that, but I really admire what you guys are doing, because you're taking just the last really time where people didn't fall onto computer control. Is that a weird thing to say? Because it was Marshall. It was the Marshall stack that was doing it. It wasn't wasn't the pedal. It was the singer in the Marshall stack, in the bass, in the double bass of the drums, and it was real, and it was not phony. And what's cool is when I see you guys perform, it's like you're almost better than the original, because when you want to remember stuff like that, you don't want to remember David Lee Roth as he slid away.
Right.
You want to remember David Lee Roth like our friends in the band Jump,
Right.
because that guy is like jumping around and having fun in his, with the look, and it looks just like those damn videos, that MTV started. So that's all. Another thing is I like how your videos have that, that 80s feel to the MTV, when MTV was music television, and so tell us, Nick, what was your life like growing up? I mean, when you were young, where were you born?
Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I listened, my dad, that's kind of what me and him bonded on was music. He always had Kiss videos on, like bootlegs on the TV, and I'd watch, and just fascinated with like the production side of it, and the just how cool it looked to be, somebody on stage and playing. And so when I finally picked up a guitar and started learning songs, it was all these 80s rock songs, because I wanted to impress my dad or whatever. And so I got to doing all that, and I ended up doing more like original bands, and did that for a long time. Never wanted to be in a cover band, never wanted to be in a tribute band, but I times changed, and there's a different reason to do it now versus like what my intentions were back then. So, you know, and the other thing about tribute bands is venues will treat you a lot better than when you're in an original band. I remember when we were in an original band, and you know, I would have to sometimes pay to play shows or not make anything or whatever, and the venues didn't treat you very nice, and you know, they wanted you to get on stage, off stage in, you know, 30 minutes or whatever it is. And when you're a tribute band, you're the concept for the night, which ours is 80s rock. You get to set your stuff up, you get catering, you get paid well, you get play nice rooms, and everyone usually treats you pretty well. So I don't know if I think this might have got a little off topic, but
no. It's actually
that's kind of where
cool because you know, at least that when you do that show, even though it's not enough of them yet, you're treated really well. And you get to have a really good time too, because I'm sure your crowd is out there just like having a really good time. You know, it's hard work. And I know what it's like to get up there and put it out there. And man, it's scary every time. You know, it's hard. And you guys are really physical, you know, and you got to do those harmonies well, you know, and it's really a treat watching you guys perform. Let me tell you that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
So you all grew up in Cincinnati then?
Right around there, yeah.
All of us.
One of us grew up in.
Yeah, Brady's from the
Yeah,
same still.
I am about 2 hours and 30 minutes out from Cincinnati.
Oh, where are you in?
Zanesville, Ohio. It's like
Oh,
50
I
minutes.
know it well. Yeah, I'm from
Yeah.
Michigan, Grand Rapids. So
My roots are from Ohio, actually. My grandmother, who's still alive today, bless her heart, over 90, gave me my first electric guitar.
Wow.
Bless her heart. Yeah, she drove a school bus till she was over 80. She's a badass.
wow.
But yeah, she's from Ohio. My mom's from Ohio. So yeah, shout out to Ohio, which actually does exist despite the memes.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
geez.
sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No,
I'm
that's
hogging
great.
our
Yeah,
guests
I've
again.
spent time in Cincinnati, Kings Island. There's more than Kings Island in Cincinnati, that's for sure.
Skyline too.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, Skyline Chili.
Cincinnati
Oh,
chili.
geez.
yeah.
Let me ask you about your crowd. You know what I noticed is a lot of really young people are rocking like 80s gear and concert shirts. Are they at your shows, guys?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think, you know,
It's definitely an all show.
it's definitely an all ages show, and we did that specifically. We wanted to keep it clean and keep it something that could play festivals or clubs or whatever, but still, you know, we don't, in our presentation, we don't want it to be cheesy either. We want it to be something that's, you know, like you said, like it takes, you know, you're seeing a concert from back then that was just high energy, fun, but it doesn't have to be vulgar or you don't have to have a cuss word every 3 seconds. You know what I mean? But yeah, so and because of that, I think that's why we see a lot of, like, when we play the festivals, like in a city, there's a lot of kids that just love it because they know all them songs. They know Queen, they know Aerosmith, they know Kiss, and it's, to them, that's new. Most of those kids didn't grow up watching the bands. They just maybe have heard the songs on the radio or something like that. So when they see a band up there entertaining and playing those songs, I think that you know, hopefully that'll inspire them to write music like that, you know, and help music in the future.
You know what amazes me is I'll be like just being near like a young person, and some song will be on that's old, and they'll be singing it. I'm like, how do you know this song? And they're just like, everyone knows this song. I'm like, Jesus, how do you retain all these songs? You know, but
yeah.
And every year more and more songs come, and their brain just they just retain them. I'm just like, this is like from the 60s. How do you know this?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I've heard it. You know, I've heard it enough times. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's cool. You know, like I said, it's cool to see people in their 60s that are at our shows, and there's people that are 6. So it's
right.
It's cool to be able to entertain a whole, you know, you see families out at the show or something like that. It's really
right. Everybody, and your mom is in the crowd. Everybody,
yeah,
you know
right.
It. You know, and so let me tell you this. I don't want to say it too loud. Are there like copyright issues, or like, how do you deal with like copyright and stuff
do you
like
have
that?
to pay royalties?
Royalties, yeah, that's the word. What's
So
the dealio?
no, there's a an ASCAP fee that venues pay. So like if they didn't pay that, they legally wouldn't be able to play like house music. Like they wouldn't be able to play the songs in between
okay.
sets over the speakers or on a jukebox or something like that. So when they cover that license, that covers any band that comes in and plays those songs too.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So you can't like release it though. You can just play it live. Is that the deal?
So you can release it. We have like a couple songs that we've released, but you do have to have a license for it. So
Is that what
but
happened
there's
with
a pretty-
Still of the Night?
Yeah,
That music
so
video, that was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Good
yeah,
one.
that Mental Health we've done,
Mhm.
both on like iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. But yeah, we have to pay like I think it's a $20 a year license for that for those songs.
Wow, that's nothing.
Yeah, no, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Perfect.
That
And it
is
gives the people that
interesting.
come see us some, they're able to go pull us back up on, iTunes or whatever, and listen to us on the way home from the concert too, or later that week or
Smart.
something. Yeah. We plan on releasing more to that too. We haven't in a while.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what other ways can we fund you? Patreon, maybe. I don't know. YouTube, maybe. I don't know.
YouTube, yeah,
Yeah.
we're all over YouTube,
Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook, and Instagram
Get a
mainly.
Twitter at one
As far
point.
as our website goes, just type the band name in and put .com after it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, our listeners always get over and support. So everybody, geez, get over there, especially YouTube, and make sure you subscribe and do all that stuff for them. Because
Yeah.
these guys need to quit their jobs and take this shit on the road. It's just the world needs to catch back up to you. Unfortunately, it got, a wrench thrown in its engine and broke down. And so I think we're almost there. So, and I think that hopefully every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when it does come back, it'll hit you so hard that you'll be turning away the smaller ones, and
Sure.
Yeah.
and I think that's my prediction because, at the rate it's growing, it's going right along with the world is just so crazy right now. If it was just, like you said, if COVID hadn't hit, it would already be a done deal.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite performances? Share with us. The city, atmosphere, whatever it was.
Well, there was a lot. There's a lot of different
Yeah,
shows.
sure.
For me personally, I'm always a big fan of the hometown shows, honestly. So obviously, like our first show we ever did was a Bogart show. And for me, that was like my first concert ever doing. So that was a big experience for me. Another hometown show I really did was we got to play on the street right in front of Paul Brown Stadium, the Bengal Stadium.
That was cool.
Hey, Cornet. And it was during like their beer fest, and the entire street had a couple thousand people down there. It was good. So those are two favorites of mine.
I'm a big fan of like the places we play that have like really cool scenery and that are outside. So we played Key West here before down it's like right off Duval Street. There's a pier. It's called Sunset Pier, and they built a stage up on that pier, and we've got to play on that as like the sun's setting. So you get to look out and see the ocean and all these boats going by, and it's just beautiful.
On the boats.
Yeah, and we got to play Colorado last year outside in the mountains, which was pretty neat.
Wow. Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, West Virginia mountains.
What's the largest size of a concert that you've had? Like, what's the typical size too?
So like if we do like if we're talking like hard ticket sale type shows, I think we probably average between 600 and 800. There's more. Sometimes we've had some shows that have done over 1,000, stuff like that. But when you do stuff like city festivals and stuff like that, there's times we're playing in front of 2,000 people, 5,000 people. I think there's that one in Lorraine that's like 7,000 people. So it just kind of depends what kind of venue you're doing and what kind of show it is.
It must be hard. You got one going off ticket sales, and then you got festivals, which is probably some kind of flat fee. And then you got to negotiate, and you have to have a negotiator that probably is you, right, Nick? How many people do you have right now that are involved in this thing?
As far as like the whole band or
everyone who wants to get like negotiating for you or going and filling up a gas tank, like everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in this band does something.
How many
outside-
people do you have?
We have 5 band members. I guess in the
Mhm.
show, there's 2 people that do kind of skits. There's a wardrobe lady, there's a bus driver, there's a merch guy, and there is
I mean, sometimes
sound guy and light guy.
sometimes we have more road crew that show up.
Yeah.
Just sometimes we've got these really good family of people that just come out to
Yeah,
every a bunch of
Mm.
not every show of ours, but a lot of our shows, and they'll just show up and want to offer assistance. And
Nice.
Wow.
you know, it just depends like what part of the U.S. we're in or
Mhm.
wherever.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Bless your heart. And you got a tour bus and you got
Yeah.
vehicles and a lot of equipment, and bless your heart. You're just working really hard. You only got like a dozen people, and anything over that is purely voluntary. And wow.
I'd love to say that we show up and people set all of our stuff up for us, and we just come out and play, but that's not how it is.
No,
We set it all
yeah.
up. I mean, we have help, but we set it up and we tear it down. And our shows are typically like 12-hour days, when we're doing a full-on show with our production and all that kind of stuff. So it is a lot of work, but we enjoy it a lot. So
Man,
Wow.
those are the days playing a show out after I'm all burnt from working
Right.
outside. Oh my God. I'm having so many flashbacks here. What a treat it is to talk to you. So all you guys, especially you guys in the back, it's been really great meeting you.
It has. Yeah.
And I want you to promise me that as this thing escalates, you use us as like a vehicle to
back
get your message
anytime,
out. Because we'll just always just sit here and talk to you for as long as you want. You have any more questions, Mark?
No, I would just say you're mostly playing the rock, right? You're not playing the ballads, are you? You're focusing more on the rock, right?
Everybody's full and stuff.
yeah, right now we've got like Nobody's Fool in our show, which is a ballad.
Oh
kind of.
yeah, okay.
Cinderella.
Home
Mhm.
Sweet Home.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember.
But still,
you.
most of it is the
I-
the hard arena rock.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome.
We try to keep the show up, but obviously you can't keep it up all the time, right? It's gotta.
No, of course not.
It's gotta have.
You
its-
gotta have it. And Nobody's Fool and Home Sweet Home, girls just die. They just
Oh, yeah.
die
Yeah.
right there.
Good
You
point.
pull those off right. You do that well, and they're like,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Oh, those
Yeah.
are the days. Man, I'm dying to see you guys' show, and I'm gonna catch it as soon as I can, all right?
Well, let us know if we're ever in your area. Let me know, and we'll get you. We'll get you some
yeah.
tickets.
Well, I'm actually
Thank you.
going to North Carolina, so you might be there sometime. I'm going to North Carolina end of March,
Yeah.
moving there. So
We are at Apps and Taps, and I
Oh,
think May.
oh
So you're-
wow,
You'll be in North Carolina.
yeah,
in May.
Wilmington. But I'm sure I can make the trip. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's what part of North Carolina is that?
Mooresville,
Mooresville.
North Carolina.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So look
Yeah,
that
I'll
up
have
and see how far away it is. Yeah.
Oh no, I'll definitely make the drive. Yeah, for you
Yeah.
guys.
So,
come
so
on.
what shows are coming up soon, so our viewers know? Maybe they
Sure.
go, well, here, what
We've
you got
got-
coming up soon? Anything?
Bogart's in Cincinnati. That
Yeah.
one's coming up.
We got we're playing Edwardsville,
good.
Illinois for 2 nights in a row, and February 8th and 9th, and then we're going to Arkansas on the February 10th. Bogart's in Cincinnati on the 18th. 24th, we're going to Louisville, Kentucky. And
And this is all laid out on the website.
yep,
Real
it's all on our
nice.
website. Yeah.
Nice
Yep.
and neat for everybody.
yeah.
You should get over there and watch a couple of videos, you guys. They're really entertaining. You get a little peek at what you're gonna get. They make good
Yeah.
videos too, and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
information there. What's the website called exactly again?
It's www.thatarenarockshow.com.
Great. It'll
That
be in the
interaction.
show notes. Yeah.
Cool.
Great having you guys.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations on your success. Many, many, many more shows are coming
Yes.
your way. I know they are.
Yeah, we hope.
It's
was
been a
great having you.
pleasure. Yeah.
Great having you here today. And everybody get over to the website, get over to their YouTube channel. Is it called? I
That
don't
Arena
know.
Rock Show, right? They
I
can
believe in
type it and
YouTube,
find it.
and
Yeah.
you guys might, nurture that thing, if people get over there. And so
Sure.
everybody get over there, support these guys. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's
really
been our
great having you.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, come back soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, click on this playlist to watch even more. And as always, thank you so much for watching.